Does Jaron Ennis beat Terence Crawford? That's what everybody wants to know. Much like Canelo fighting David Benavidez, or not fighting, everybody wants to know, how would Terence Crawford do against Boots Ennis? Jaron Ennis is coming off of his, magnificent 6-round win over Eimantas Stanionis. I'm surprised I can say that right. And it was a very, very, very good performance on Boots' part. It was one of those performances where everybody was like, wow, didn't Jaron Ennis look amazing? And he did look very good in that fight. I will give him all the credit in the world. That fight against Stanionis was much better than his last fight against Chakazdian. Even like the David Adesanya fight, like he had his moments there. But this fight right here, Boots really did shine. Okay, now let's not put the cart before the horse here. Jaron Ennis is jabbing with a jabber, but Stanionis was coming off of the couch. Very inactive fighter, does not fight near enough as he should be for as good of a boxer as he is. That said, what Boots Ennis was able to do, the head movement, the footwork, the jab, the power shots, the body work, it was probably his best performance. And even that performance, I don't think beats Bud Crawford. But wait, there's more. There's more to it. There's always nuances to this, right guys? Like, there's so much nuance to this. And it's a deep topic. We could talk about this all day. I'm not going to do that because I don't have that long. My wife and my son wants to watch a movie, so I've got to go do that. So let's break this down as best as we can. Stanionis is a jabber. He's a fight that is a tough fight for anybody in the division. But Jaron Ennis took him coming off the couch, off of what, almost a year layoff? Let me pull that up real quick because I know Stanionis was out for a while. Let's see, his last fight was in May of 2024, and it is now April of 2025, so almost a year off. He hadn't fought for 2 years before that. Stanionis, as great as he is, very inactive fighter, okay? So we're kind of giving Jaron Ennis a little too much credit than what is deserved here. Now, is that to say that Jaron Ennis needs to pump the brakes here? He is the best welterweight in the world now, given that Terence Crawford is gone, right? Terence Crawford is definitely gone, right? He's going to fight Canelo, right, guys? Right? We don't know. Regardless, we're giving him a lot of credit for beating a guy that is very inactive, has won 2 fights now in the last 4 years. We're giving him a lot of credit where that is due, but that played into Jaron Ennis's favor, okay? So Terence Crawford is who he wants to fight, or who he wanted to fight. Who knows if that'll even happen now? I honestly doubt it happens. I don't think Crawford wants anything to do with a Boots Ennis with not much legacy building potential, even though like Boots is a fantastic boxer, okay? But Jaron Ennis is a great boxer, the best welterweight in the world, and beating him right now, with Terence Crawford being 36, beating him right now would put that name on the resume. Think of Floyd Mayweather beating Canelo Alvarez, a young Canelo, and all the things Canelo's done, and that carries back to what Floyd Mayweather did, okay? So beating this young guy would add to his legacy, but that's not what Terence Crawford is looking for right now. He's looking for the big fight. He's looking for, God knows, Canelo, He's waiting on Canelo. This whole fighting once a year thing, not gonna cut it for Terence Crawford, who's 36. And it's gonna seem like he drops off overnight, because eventually he'll be 37 and 38. Let me double check myself, guys, because I think he's 36, right? Yeah. No, 37 now. Whoa, hold on, time out. Bud, we have the same birthday, September 28th. He's a couple years older than me, but nice. I didn't know that. Huh. Regardless, though, he's 37 now. And if he fights Canelo in September, he'll almost be 38. Even if it's like after his birthday, he'll be 38, Terence Crawford is going to fall off like that, and it's not going to be like that, because it's like, oh, he's just not fighting. We don't see him often. We don't see the slow and gradual decline of Terence Crawford. Instead, it's like, oh, he looks good here. Oh, he struggled against a Boachuk. What? Okay, well, what? Boom, Canelo like wrecks him, and it's like, okay, so Canelo's a step above, and you think, you know, Terence Crawford is great. Then he goes back down and fights a Jaron Ennis at 39 years old now, almost 40, and Ennis beats him. And you're like, what happened to Terence Crawford? Canelo broke Terence Crawford. No, Father Time broke Terence Crawford. So I'm not saying that Jaron Ennis, I said this before, I'm not saying that Jaron Ennis beats Terence Crawford. I don't think he does. That night, you know, Stanionis was doing a great job of landing and connecting with Jaron Ennis. I think Terence Crawford would do the same thing, if not worse, with his punching power. That said, if Terence Crawford stays inactive, Jaron Ennis can become a problem. I talked about Josh my last episode with Janabek. I'm gonna talk about Josh again. Shout out Josh, what up? He always listens to my homie at work. But he said that was what he said to me at lunch today. He was like, you know, I think Jaron Ennis is a very good boxer, but I don't think he's better than Terence Crawford right now. But if he keeps pushing Crawford off to the side, we mentioned MMA, we talk about too, so we mentioned John Jones with Tom Aspinall, just pushing Tom Aspinall off as he's getting older and older and older. Eventually you're gonna slow down and not even know it. Even still, like if they fight in August, or not August, what, July, whatever, like Terence Crawford is getting older still. And that's going to be a problem for him if he keeps pushing Jaron Ennis off. And that's why I believe the fight will never happen. I do. I don't think Jaron Ennis and Terence Crawford will ever fight. Just like I don't think Canelo Alvarez and David Benavidez will ever fight. Those two fights are never going to happen. Jaron Ennis seems like he's moved past the Terence Crawford fight, and the opportunity presents itself. Of course, he'll take it. But there are other huge fights for him. Who is there? Well, one name that couldn't make, you know, super lightweight, junior welterweight, whatever you want to call it, Ryan Garcia. Remember, he beat the brakes off of Devin Haney, even though that's now a no contest because of the drug test. But regardless, he beat the snot out of Devin Haney that night. A career best performance from Ryan Garcia. Everybody counted him out. There's that. There's also Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez has his knack of fighting to the level of caliber his opponent is, and I think him and Jaron Ennis would be a magnificent fight. Now, obviously, Lopez has a huge fight coming up on at Times Square, which is I'm excited about. I don't know about you, but that's a really cool card. You know, he'd have to win that. He's fighting Arnold Barboza, which is a good fight. Like, Arnold Barboza is a real tough fight, and that's the kind of fight that Teofimo Lopez can lose. But man, that's the fight. Teofimo Lopez and Jaron Ennis. That's the one I want to see. Now, Ryan Garcia would be another one. You know, Ryan Garcia could be another one, but he's also on that card too. That card is stacked, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that card right there, you got Teofimo Lopez and Arnold Barboza, Devin Haney versus Jose Carlos Ramirez, and then Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero. That's a star-studded card. I can't wait for that one, okay? But at the end of the day, when you're looking at the king, you've got the Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez's. But at the end of the day, when you look at the best boxer out there, amongst these four, if you're talking about them moving up to 147, none of them are going to touch Jaron Ennis. And I will stand by that through and through. So guys, look, this playlist right here, I always get the camera back. This playlist, go check this out. In my boxing playlist, you can watch the episode on Janabek, on Junto Nakatani. We talk about boxing every week that there's a good card on. So get at this. Also, in the description, Fight Finders, I've got episode 7 coming. We start filming this weekend. We're going to be talking about boxing in New Orleans. So you guys, you boxing guys, will absolutely love it. Documentary style series where we get to talk about all that. So, playlist right here. I'm backwards again. Playlist. Fight Finders. Get at it.